Hello, I want to introduce something new today, but before I do that, I want to kind of recap what we've done over the last week or so. And what I want to highlight is the fact that as we've talked about slope, the things that we've talked about mainly have to deal with seeing lines either go up, like we see here on the left, so from left to right, this one goes up, or on the right, we see that this line goes down. And what we know about the slope on the left is that our slope is always going to be positive when it goes up. So m would equal, let's say, 3, or m would be 2 over 5. It would be positive, okay? However, on the left side, when it goes down, it's going to be negative, and that's always the case, okay? The slope is going to have to be something like negative 5 over 2, or m equals negative 6. And we'd count the points and figure it out. What I want you to see is when it goes up from left to right, it's positive. When a line goes down from left to right, it is negative. What we have yet to talk about is the following scenario. What is the slope when you have simply a vertical line right here? Or what's the slope when you have a horizontal line over here on the right? And what I'm going to say today is that these are both special types of lines, and they are special equations. So what I'm going to say is this. These are the ones that we have to watch out for as we talk about this new topic today. So what we want you to do is, and you can have teacher pause the video if you want to, but go back to your notes that say 8.3 slope completed or just 8.3 slope, and scroll all the way down until you see where it says 8.3 continued, horizontal and vertical lines. 8.3 continued, horizontal and vertical lines. Well, what I want you to see right here is this. This is a new type of equation. It's missing something. This says y equals 3. What's it missing? It's missing an x. The equation we looked at right before today have looked like x plus 2, or y equals 3x minus 8, or y equals 2/5 x plus 7, or y equals negative 3 over 2 x minus 4. They've all had an x in them. However, this does not have an x. So how are we going to graph it? Well, first of all, notice that this is special because it just says y equals 3. And if you look at your t-table, we got to find, usually I tell you to find a few x values, but what I want you to do is this. It tells you that y is 3. This stands for the y coordinate, and it says that y is 3. Well, if y is 3, let's plug it in. I have 3, 3, and 3. All of my y's are going to be 3. And then like we've been doing, I want you to choose your own x values. Again, we typically choose negative 2, 0, and 2. So I'll do that. Again, I chose the 3's because that's what it told me to, and these I just made up on my own. Well, let's plot the ordered pairs. Negative 2, 1, 2, 3. We have 0, 3. And we have 2, 3. And as you can imagine, we have a horizontal line. So y equals 3 gives us a horizontal line. Well, what's our slope going to be? I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Let's scroll down to the next problem. This equation says y equals 5, or y equals negative 5. So again, I'm going to put negative 5, and negative 5. I'm going to choose some random x values. I'll choose negative 2, 0, and 2. So negative 2, negative 5, 0, negative 5, 2, negative 5. I know this graph is a little bit funny, but it's like that's negative 1, 2, 3, so don't worry about that. It's a little bit off. And hey, what do we have again? We have a horizontal line. I'm trying to get it straight across. So some buzzers should be going off in your head saying a y equals a number. So when y equals a number, it gives us a horizontal line. Again, there's no x there. Okay, great. Well, let's go back to the fact that what's the slope going to be? Well, you all remember the slope formula from last week. And the slope formula said that m equals y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my y's. Okay, I'm going to take these two ordered pairs right here. Okay, I'm going to take negative 2, 3, and I'm going to take 0, 3, and I'm going to plug them in down here. So I'm going to subtract my y, so I'm going to have 3 minus 3 over negative 2 minus 0, and lo and behold, I have 0 over negative 2. And remember, if the 0 is on the top, then the 0 is what you got. That equals 0. So my slope is 0. So m equals 0. Now, okay, let's see what the slope is of the second, same thing. Second one, y equals negative 5. Well, let's subtract, okay? We're going to subtract the y, so negative 5 minus negative 5. Subtract the x's, we'll say negative 2 minus 0. It's two negatives, make a positive, so that's going to be 0 over negative 2, and 0 divided by 2 is 0. When the 0 is on the top, the 0 is what you got. So you should notice that these both have the same slope. So you could say that when you have y equals a number, you're going to have a horizontal line, and your slope, or your m, is going to be 0. That's something very important to know, and you may want to get this down in your notes. Now, another way to think about it is this. We think about slope as the rise over the run. Well, I would say, how much does this graph rise up and down vertically? Well, it doesn't rise at all. So it's 0. Well, how much does it run? Well, you could say from this point to this point it runs 2, or from this point to this point it would be 0 over 4. No matter what you have, it does not rise at all. So 0 is in the top, 0 is in the numerator. So you're left with 0, or a sparkly donut, as sometimes we like to say. Again, horizontal line has a slope of 0. Now, let's take a look at x equals 2. If you can think back at the beginning of the lesson, I said we're going to learn about horizontal and what? Vertical lines. So you can imagine what the x equals. Now notice this is different. This says x equals. It does not say y equals like we had here, and it does not say y equals like we have on all of these. So again, you have to think to yourself, man, this one is special. It's different. It's not like the other ones. Well, these said that y was negative 5, so we plugged in the negative 5. This said y is 3, so we plugged in the 3's. Now this says that x is 2. So instead of us choosing our own x values, it says x is 2, so I'm going to write 2 a bunch of times right here. Now this is what's different. You choose your own y values. You choose them. I don't know. You want to say negative 2, 0, 2 like we normally do? You want to say something else? I'll put some more. You could say 5, negative 8, and 7. Doesn't matter. Watch what happened in your graph. 2, negative 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, 2, negative 8, be down here. 2 7's up here. Or actually, no, it's not there. It's right here. Okay. Gives me a vertical line. So you must be saying, when x equals a number, it gives me a vertical line. It is a special equation, which gives me a special graph, and it's going to give me a special slope. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's take a look at number 4. It says x equals negative 1. Well, here we go. It says x is negative 1. Then you choose the y's. I'll say negative 2, 0, and 2. So, negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 2, and here we are. We have another vertical line. So again, x equals a number gives us a vertical line. Now, what are we going to do about our slope? Well, again, our slope formula is y2 minus y1, the difference in the y's over the difference in the x's. So let's choose an ordered pair. We'll choose those. So we'll say 2, negative 2, and 2, 0. And let's plug them into the formula here. So I subtract my y, so negative 2 minus 0 over my x's. And notice that my x's are always going to be the same because they're all 2. So if I subtract those, I'm going to wind up with negative 2 divided by 0. And as you know, when the 0 is on the bottom, it's undefined. So negative 2 divided by 0 is undefined. So my slope for a vertical line is going to be undefined. Sometimes we also say that it has no slope. So x equals a number like x equals 2 or x equals negative 1. It's going to be a vertical line, and our m, or our slope, is going to be undefined, or we could say no slope. let's make sure the same holds true here. We'll subtract our x's and our y's. So we'll subtract our y's in the numerator. So we'll say negative 2 minus 0. Then we'll say negative 1 minus negative 1. That gives us negative 2, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Sorry about that. Negative 2 divided by 0, thou shalt not divide by 0, oh sorry, not 0, is undefined. When the 0 is on the bottom, it's undefined. So our m is undefined. Or we could say it has no slope. And yes, saying no slope is different than up here, where we said that it has a slope of 0. Those are two very different things. So, to recap what we learned on horizontal and vertical lines, when it's y equals a number, you plug in, it tells you what the y is, so you plug those in. You end up with a horizontal line. Your slope will be 0. When it says x equals a number, you plug in your x's right here. You choose your y's. And again, you're going up with a vertical line. And it's kind of the opposite of what you think. Normally you think y, you think up and down, but it's going to be horizontal. X, it's going to be vertical. Because if you think about it, each of these is this ordered pair 2, 5, and you have 2, 3, and then you have 2, 0. Notice what's the same. X equals 2. For this problem, you've got, let's say, the ordered pair 2, 3. And then this right here would be 5, 3. And then right here would be negative 2, 3. What you notice is that the y is 3, just like we see in our equation right here, that y equals 3. So to go back to where we started at the beginning, whoops, found those graphs right here, okay? You've got positive when it goes up, you've got negative when it goes down. Vertical is going to give us, we're going to say undefined for our slope, or we could say no slope. Horizontal, straight across, is going to give us a slope of 0. If you want to watch a funny video that recaps this, you can go to the Haiku page. And there is a video called The Slope Dude. I'll show you where it is on the Haiku page. If you go to the Haiku page and scroll down, The Slope Dude is right there. It's a funny 2-minute video. It's kind of cheesy, but it may help you remember this lesson. Have a great day.